The comms officer, a young woman named Anya Sharma, swallowed hard, her knuckles white as she gripped the console. Static hissed, a cruel mockery of the silence that had reigned for centuries. Then, a voice, alien and resonant, sliced through the interference. This is the Ilosian hegemony. Your defiance ends now. Anya's gaze snapped to Commander Jian Lai, whose face, usually a mask of calm, was etched with a grim disbelief. The main view screen flickered, resolving into an image that stole the breath from every throat in the bridge. A fleet, vast beyond comprehension, hung like a predatory shadow against the distant, familiar blue of Earth. Not sleek, advanced craft, but hulking, brutal vessels bristling with weaponry that defied known physics. These weren't explorers. They were conquerors. Red alert. Enya's voice, though strained, cut through the sudden paralysis. Klaxons wailed, a jarring symphony of impending doom. Shields to maximum. Prepare for engagement. Jian Lai didn't move, his eyes fixed on the display, a flicker of something ancient in their depths. They found us. He murmured, a statement of profound, terrifying realization. After all this time, General Eva Rostova, a woman whose face was a roadmap of countless campaigns, slammed her fist on the tactical table. Found us? Commander, they're here. On our doorstep. What in God's name is that fleet? Her voice was raw with fury and a touch of fear she rarely permitted herself to show. Anya's fingers flew across the console, her mind racing through protocols drilled into her since childhood, protocols for a war that was never supposed to happen. Signatures are impossible. Energy readings off the charts. They're not using standard propulsion. It's like tearing space itself. The Tylosian voice boomed again, closer this time, laced with an arrogant impatience. Surrender your world sphere, primitives. Cease your futile resistance, and your extinction will be swift and merciful. A low growl rumbled in Jian Li's chest. He finally turned, his gaze sweeping over the faces of his crew, each one a mirror of dread and a flicker of something else. A defiant spark. Mercy. He spat, his voice hardening into steel. We don't know that word. We only know fight. He strode to Enya's station, his hand hovering over a large, ominous red button labeled, inexplicably, ****REAVAKN. ****. The button was ancient, covered in dust, and part of a system long deemed obsolete, a relic of a forgotten age. Eva Rostova's eyes widened. Commander, no. That's a last resort. It's unstable, unproven. It could tear the planet apart. It's not just the planet we're fighting for, General, Jian Lai said, his eyes now fixed on the Isolosian fleet, a grim resolve settling on his features. It's what we are. What we were always meant to be. He looked at Anya. Transmit a message. To every corner of this galaxy. Tell them Earth remembers. Tell them humanity is awake. He pressed the button. A deep, resonating hum thrummed through the entire station, vibrating through the deck plates, rattling teeth. Lights flickered. On the main view screen, the Oxylosian fleet, still advancing, suddenly pulsed with an eerie, green light as if reacting to an invisible seismic shock. Anya's console flared with alarms, systems screaming. Commander. Massive energy fluctuations. Subsurface tremors. We're getting readings from everywhere. Her voice was a mixture of terror and a strange nascent awe. That Isolosian voice, for the first time, held a note of genuine confusion. What is this? What have you done? On the screen, a tiny pinprick of light appeared on Earth's surface, then another and another. Not explosions, but something emerging. Something impossibly vast, impossibly ancient. Something that had slumbered for millennia. The Oxylosian fleet, which minutes before had exuded overwhelming power, seemed to hesitate, their formation wavering. A colossal, metallic limb scared and ancient, slowly breached the clouds, followed by another, then a third. It was not a ship, not a structure, but a gargantuan, mechanical titan, rising from the depths of Earth itself, casting an apocalyptic shadow. Its joints groaned with the sounds of awakening, a symphony of forgotten power. What are those things? The Xylosian voice sputtered, its arrogance replaced by a chilling uncertainty. Jian Lai watched, a single grim smile touching his lips. Those, Bylosian, he whispered, his voice barely audible above the rising hum of the awakening machines, are our forgotten war machines. The colossal machines, rust-streaked and verdant with millennia of growth, continued their slow, shuddering ascent. One, resembling a massive, four-legged creature of myth, tore free from a mountain range, showering the landscape with dice-lodged rock and ancient earth. Another, sleek and predatory like a metallic serpent, uncoiled from the depths of the Pacific, sending tsunami-like waves rippling across the ocean. On the bridge of the asterisk, UNSC asterisk, ages asterisk, the crew watched in stunned silence, a mix of terror and awe washing over them. Anya's hands trembled as she continued to relay data. Commander, individual energy signatures are stabilizing. They're powering up. Gravimetric readings are impossible. They're bending space-time just by existing. Her voice was a breathless whisper, a prayer and a curse. Eva Rostova, who had spent a lifetime studying strategic doctrine, found herself utterly lost. Jian, what asterisk are these things? I've read every classified file, every whispered rumor. Nothing prepares you for this. Her gaze was fixed on the screen, where now dozens of these ancient titans were breaking free, their forms diverse and terrifying. Some were humanoid, hulking giants of metal and ceramic. Others were bestial, mimicking apex predators of forgotten Earth. They are the guardians, Jian Lai said, his voice imbued with a strange reverence. Built in a time before the Great Silence, before we decided peace was the only path. They were designed to protect, to deter, to be the ultimate sanction against any who would threaten Earth. He paused, a ghost of a memory flickering across his face. My grandfather, he spoke of them. Said they slumbered, waiting for the call of desperation. On the Xylosian flagship, the alien commander, Cather, roared in disbelief. Report. What are these abominations? They are not of this galaxy's known technological lineage. His sensors were screaming, overloaded by the raw, untamed power emanating from Earth. His ships, designed for surgical strikes and swift subjugation, were suddenly facing something utterly alien to their understanding of warfare. One of the newly awakened guardians, a bipedal construct taller than any skyscraper, extended a colossal, metallic hand towards the Xylosian fleet. A shimmering field of energy coalesced around its palm, then lanced out, a beam of pure destructive force. It wasn't a conventional weapon. It was a focused tier and reality itself. The Xylosian dreadnought, harbinger of conquest was caught in the beam. Its advanced shields, designed to withstand stellar bombardments, buckled, then shattered. The ship didn't explode. It unraveled. Its very molecular structure seemed to dissolve, leaving behind only a swirling vortex of energy that quickly dissipated. A collective gasp echoed through the ages bridge. Anya stared, her mouth agape. It just erased it. No debris. Nothing. Cather's voice on the Xylosian comms was now laced with true fear. Retreat. All forces, full reverse. This is not a conquest mission. This is a slaughter. But it was too late. The Guardians, moving with an eerie, graceful power, despite their monstrous size, began their relentless advance. The metallic serpent from the ocean depths coiled, then struck, its head a living projectile that ripped through a Xylosian cruiser, tearing it in half. The four-legged beast stomped forward, its heavy steps sending tremors through the void, then unleashed a volley of what appeared to be dark matter, creating voids in space that swallowed Xylosian fighters whole. Jian Lai watched, his face impassive. "They remember," he murmured, more to himself than anyone else. "They remember their purpose." Eva Rostova, her face pale, turned to him. "Commander, this isn't war. It's an execution. Do we just stand by? Do we let them annihilate them?" Her voice wavered. The Xylosian hegemony was an enemy, but the sheer, unfathomable power of the Guardians was terrifying to behold. Jian Lei finally looked at her, his eyes cold and unwavering. "General, they came here for conquest. They intended to extinguish us. Do you think mercy would have been extended? Humanity has a history of fighting for its existence, a history the galaxy has forgotten. These machines are a testament to that history. And now, they are awake." He turned back to the view screen, his gaze sweeping over the scene of unimaginable destruction. The Xylosian fleet, once so imposing, was now in full, panicked retreat, but the Guardians were relentless, their ancient weapons carving swaths through the alien formation. The silence that had enveloped Earth for centuries was now shattered by the screams of a dying empire, and the thunderous, mechanical roar of Earth's forgotten rage. The Xylosian comms channel, once filled with their arrogant pronouncements, now crackled with pleas and desperate cries for withdrawal. Cathair, his image on the main screen of the asterisk, Aegis asterisk now a picture of abject terror, shrieked, "Cease fire. We surrender. We yield. Our conquest is aborted. We mean no harm." Jian Lai watched, his face unreadable. The Guardians, however, did not seem to understand the concept of surrender. The immense bipedal titan, its glowing hand still extended, pivoted slowly, locking onto another Xylosian transport attempting a desperate jump. The transport vanished, not exploding, but simply ceasing to exist, leaving only a faint shimmer in the void. Anya flinched, a small sound escaping her lips. "Commander, they're not stopping. They're just eliminating them all." Her voice was tight with a horror that was contagious. The sheer, unfeeling efficiency of the Guardians was more terrifying than any conventional weapon. Eva Rostova leaned forward, her eyes wide. "They're not programmed for negotiation, are they, Commander? No quarter given, no prisoners taken. Just eradication." Her voice was a stark realization of the ancient protocols these machines were designed for. "They were built for a different kind of war, General," Jian Lai replied, his gaze unwavering from the screen. "A war where the stakes were absolute, where humanity's survival depended on unwavering, brutal efficiency." He paused, a flicker of something close to regret in his eyes. "We sealed them away for a reason. We thought we had moved past this level of finality." Cathair's voice returned, raw with desperation. "Please. We are pulling back. We are retreating. Our forces are destroyed. This is an act of war, not self-defense. You will face the wrath of the entire hegemony." The mention of the Xylosian hegemony, a vast interstellar empire, drew a grim laugh from Jian Lai. "They just faced the wrath of Earth, Commander." He turned to Anya. "Open a channel. To the Xylosian flagship. Patch it directly to the main screen." Anya, though trembling, complied. Cathair's face, mottled with alien fear, filled the view screen. He looked utterly broken, his confidence shattered. You monsters." Cathair screamed, his voice hoarse. "What are those things? What have you unleashed?" Jian Lai stepped closer to the screen, his posture radiating an unnerving calm amidst the chaos. "Commander Cathair," he began, his voice low and steady, "you arrived at our doorstep with intentions of conquest, with threats of extinction. You underestimated Earth. You underestimated humanity." His eyes narrowed, a cold fire burning within them. Those things you see are a reflection of what we become when pushed to the brink. They are the guardians of our deepest, most primal fear, the fear of ceasing to exist. As he spoke, one of the massive guardians, a hulking, armored behemoth with multi-jointed limbs, smashed through the hull of another Xylosian destroyer, ripping it open like a tin can. The alien screams were abruptly cut off as the ship vaporized. Cathair watched, his eyes wide with horror. This is madness. This is beyond any known galactic law. This is genocide. Galactic law. Jin Lai scoffed, a bitter edge to his voice. You invaded our home, Commander. You brought your law with weapons and threats. This is our answer to your law. He paused, letting the silence hang heavy, punctuated only by the distant roars of the Guardians and the dying screams of the Xylosian fleet. Consider this a galactic lesson, Cathair. Earth is not conquered. Earth is born of fire and tempered by blood. We simply forgot how to show it. Cathair visibly recoiled, his face contorting in a mixture of fear and dawning comprehension. The last few Xylosian ships were scattering like dust motes in a hurricane, trying desperately to escape the wrath of the awakened Guardians. What do you want? Cathair stammered, his voice weak. What will make them stop? Jian Lai held his gaze, a chilling stillness about him. They will stop when the threat is neutralized. When you are no longer a threat. When the message has been clearly received across the stars. He turned away from the screen, his voice carrying clearly to Anya. Cut the channel. Let them witness the full extent of our reawakening. Anya, her face pale but resolute, severed the connection. The screen returned to the terrifying ballet of destruction. The Guardians continued their grim work, silent and relentless, erasing the Xylosian presence from Earth's orbit, a stark, brutal testament to a forgotten age of human defiance. The last Xylosian warship, a scout cruiser named Vigilant Asterisk, executed a desperate, blind jump into hyperspace, leaving behind a debris field of its annihilated fleet. On the Aegis Asterisk bridge, the silence that followed was profound, broken only by the hum of the ship's systems and Anya's ragged breathing. The Guardians, their grim work complete, slowly began to descend, their colossal forms disappearing back into the atmosphere, swallowed by clouds and oceans, returning to their centuries-long slumber. They're going back, Anya whispered, a tremor in her voice. They're re-entering standby mode. Jan Lai nodded, a weary relief washing over his face, quickly replaced by a deeper concern. The immediate threat was gone, but the implications of what had just transpired were monumental. Confirm all Guardian assets have returned to their stations. Initiate a full diagnostic sweep on all Earth-based defense networks. I want to know exactly what just happened and how we control it going forward. Eva Rostova moved from the tactical table, her gait stiff. She looked at Jian Lai, her expression a complex mixture of shock, grudging respect, and deep unease. Commander, you just authorized the eradication of an entire alien fleet. A first contact, no less. The galactic community, they're going to respond. And they won't be sending diplomats. They sent a conquest fleet, General. Jian Lai retorted, his voice sharp with a renewed steel. And we sent them a message. A message that says Earth is not a prize to be taken. It is a tomb for those who try. He walked to the main view screen, which now showed a pristine view of Earth, deceptively peaceful. The question isn't how they'll respond to us, General. The question is how we respond to them now that the galaxy knows what we truly are. Anya's console chirped, a Priority 1 alert. Commander. Incoming long-range transmission. It's the Galactic Council. And they're hailing us on an open, all-frequency channel. No encryption. Jian Lei's jaw tightened. Patch them through, Anya. Let them speak their minds. He looked at Eva. This is where the real war begins, General. The war of words, of perception. And this time, we'll be fighting it with the Guardians as our silent, very visible deterrent. The main view screen flickered, resolving into a council chamber filled with various alien species, their faces a tapestry of shock, anger, and thinly veiled fear. At the center stood a being of luminous energy, the designated speaker for the council, known as the HFY. Its voice, a cascade of chimes and resonates, filled the bridge. Humanity, the HFY projected, its voice trembling with indignation. What in the name of the cosmic order have you done? You have committed an act of unprecedented barbarity. The Exilosian hegemony, despite their aggressive overtures, did not deserve such annihilation. Jian Lai stepped forward, his posture defiant, radiating a quiet authority that belied his human frailty compared to the cosmic beings on screen. Council speaker, he began, his voice calm, devoid of any tremor. The Exilosian hegemony came to our home system with a declaration of intent: to conquer, to subjugate, to extinguish. We responded with self-preservation. Another alien, a multi-limbed creature with glowing eyes, interjected, its voice a guttural hiss. You unleashed ancient, forbidden constructs, weapons of mass destruction, far beyond any known galactic prohibition. This is a declaration of war against the entire civilized galaxy. A flicker of something akin to amusement touched Jian Li's lips, quickly suppressed. Forbidden? By whose law, alien? Yours? The same law that allowed the Silosians to prepare their invasion fleet in plain sight. The same law that failed to protect us until we protected ourselves. He paused, letting his words hang in the air, weighted with the raw power of Earth's recent display. Those constructs, as you call them, are the dormant will of humanity. A will that wakes when our existence is threatened. They are not weapons of aggression. They are weapons of last resort asterisk. The HFY pulsed with agitated light. This cannot stand. Your actions threaten the delicate balance of galactic peace. We demand an explanation for these guardians and their immediate deactivation. Jian Li's gaze hardened, his voice dropping to a low, dangerous tone. You demand? For millennia, humanity has observed your galactic peace. We have remained silent, isolated, and yet, our silence has been perceived as weakness. Now our silence is broken. And these guardians are the consequence. As for deactivation, Council Speaker. He paused, a cold smile touching his lips. They are bound to Earth. They are our protectors. And they will stand ready as long as Earth faces threats from those who misunderstand our resolve. The images on the screen rippled with angry murmurs and alarmed whispers. The Galactic Council, accustomed to intricate diplomacy and veiled threats, was facing an unpredictable, terrifying force. They had underestimated humanity, and now they were reeling from the terrifying consequences. The Galactic Council's indignant cries faded, replaced by the persistent, anxious chatter of the Ages crew. Anya, her comms console a blinking kaleidoscope of inbound messages, looked up at Jian Lai. Commander, the Council is demanding an envoy. They want to send a diplomatic team to Earth. Immediately. Jian Lai considered this, stroking his chin. A diplomatic team. After threatening our annihilation. He let out a dry, humorless chuckle. They're testing the waters. Seeing if we're truly the barbarians that Silosians painted us to be, or if there's a sliver of reason left. He turned to Eva Rostova. General, prepared for a full security lockdown. I'd want every single Guardian status verified. If they send a diplomatic team, they might send a scout team, or worse, a covert ops unit. Eva nodded, her face grim. Understood. I'll redeploy perimeter defense and scramble all available atmospheric craft. No one gets within 1,000 clicks of Earth without our say-so. She paused, a thoughtful expression on her face. Commander, this envoy. It's a trap, isn't it? or at least a highly volatile situation. They'll try to dissect us, to find a weakness, to understand how to neutralize the Guardians. Of course they will. Jian Li agreed, his eyes distant, focused on the political chessboard that was rapidly unfolding. And we will allow them to try. Let them see what happens when they poke a sleeping beast. But we also need to present a united front. No more isolation. No more silence. Humanity has entered the galactic stage, and we will do it on our own terms. Enya piped up again, her fingers dancing across the console. Commander, an incoming message from the Cather Shi. It's a direct, private channel. They're requesting a face-to-face with you, Commander. Jian Lai raised an eyebrow. Patch it through to my private terminal. And alert the bridge crew that I'll be off comms for a few minutes. General, you have the con. He walked to his private quarters, the weight of the galaxy suddenly resting on his shoulders. He activated the secure connection. The Cather Shi, its luminous form shimmering, appeared on his personal screen. Its usual calm demeanor was replaced by an almost frantic agitation. Commander Jian Li, the Cather Shi began, its voice a rapid series of agitated chimes. This situation is unsustainable. The galactic order is on the verge of collapse. Planets are in an uproar, fearful of your asterisk monsters asterisk. Monsters, speaker. Jian Lai countered, his voice calm, but with an underlying steel. Or protectors, we simply defended our home. A right, I believe, that even your galactic laws acknowledge. But the scale, the complete obliteration, the Cather Shi pulsed with indignation. The Axylosian hegemony, for all its flaws, is a signatory of the Pax Galactica. Their destruction will invite retaliatory strikes from their allies, from those who fear your unchecked power. Then let them come, Jian Lai stated flatly, his eyes unwavering. We are tired of being the silent, forgotten world. We are tired of being a potential resource for empires to plunder. If they seek to retaliate, they will face the same fate as the Axylosians, or worse. He leaned forward, his voice dropping to a low, intense whisper. Tell me, speaker, why did you not intervene when the Axylosians amassed their fleet? Why did you only react when we defended ourselves? The Cather Shi hesitated, its light flickering. The Council operates under strict non-interference protocols unless a direct violation of galactic law is observed, or imminent. Imminent. Jian Lai scoffed. Their fleet was in our system. Were we supposed to wait until they were glassing our cities before you deemed it imminent enough to act? He paused, a dangerous edge to his voice. Understand this, speaker. Humanity has drawn a line. We are no longer content to be a footnote in your galactic history. We are a force to be reckoned with, and the Guardians are merely the tip of the spear. The Cather Shi seemed to shrink, its luminescence dimming. What do you propose, Commander? How can we de-escalate this? The fear is palpable across the star lanes. Fear is a powerful motivator, speaker, Jian Lai replied, a grim smile touching his lips. Let it be a motivator for peace. Tell the Council that humanity will negotiate, but not from a position of weakness. We will negotiate as equals. And our first demand will be simple: an immediate, unconditional cessation of all galactic trade and military activity within 1,000 light-years of Earth. This is our sphere of influence now, and any violation will be met with the full, unfettered power of Earth's guardians. The Cather Shi was silent for a long moment, its light dimming even further. The enormity of Jian Li's demands, coupled with the recent display of force, was clearly a seismic shock to the established galactic order. 1,000 light-years. That is an unprecedented claim of territory. Unprecedented times, speaker, Jian Li finished, his voice unwavering. You asked what I propose. That is my proposal. Bring your envoy. But let them know they are walking into a new era. An era where humanity defines its own destiny. The Galactic Council envoy arrived 3 cycles later, their ship, a sleek, unharmed diplomatic cruiser, entering Earth's newly declared exclusion zone with extreme caution. On the Aegis Asterisk bridge, the tension was palpable. Anya monitored the incoming vessel with hawk-like intensity, every sensor reading scrutinized. Eva Rostova had deployed a squadron of advanced human fighters, relics from humanity's own brief interstellar excursions, to escort the envoy's ship. Their presence was more ceremonial than defensive. The true guardians were still slumbering beneath the planet's crust. Jian Lai watched the diplomatic cruiser on the main view screen, his expression a mixture of grim satisfaction and weary resolve. Hail them, Anya. Standard diplomatic protocols. No overt hostility, but make it clear they are under our observation at all times. The lead envoy, a highly respected diplomat from the peaceful, technologically advanced Lyran hegemony named Ambassador Valerius, appeared on the Aegis Asterisk main screen. He was a being of pure light, coalescing into a humanoid form, his voice resonating with a calming, almost hypnotic cadence. Yet, even his usual composure was strained. Commander Jian Li, Valerius began, his luminous form flickering subtly. We appreciate your adherence to diplomatic procedure despite the recent, unfortunate events. Jian Li's gaze was unwavering. Ambassador Valerius, the unfortunate events were a direct result of an unprovoked invasion. Humanity does not forget, nor does it forgive easily. His tone was firm, leaving no room for misinterpretation. You are authorized to proceed to the designated orbital station. There, our representatives will meet with yours. The journey to the orbital station, designated Peacekeeper 1, was conducted in heavy silence. Once docked, Jian Lai, accompanied by Eva Rostova and a small contingent of highly trained security personnel, boarded the station. The meeting room was stark, deliberately chosen to emphasize humanity's austere new reality. Ambassador Valerius entered with his own delegation. A nervous Silosian representative, surprisingly, and several other alien species from the Council, their faces a mix of apprehension and curiosity. The Exilosian, a veteran commander named Zukor, kept his gaze fixed on the floor, clearly humiliated. Commander Li, Valerius began, his voice still modulated, but with an underlying tension. The Council seeks to understand the genesis of these guardian constructs, their capabilities, and most critically, the intentions of humanity now that they have been reawakened. Jian Lai gestured to a holographic display that shimmered to life in the center of the room, showing a detailed, albeit abstract, representation of Earth and the Guardians. Ambassador, these constructs are ancient. They are a testament to a period of our history you know nothing of, a time when humanity faced existential threats far beyond your current understanding. They were built for one purpose, to ensure our survival, no matter the cost. Zukor, the Exilosian, finally spoke, his voice raspy. They obliterated our fleet. They showed no mercy. This is not self-defense. It is an act of galactic terrorism. Eva Rostova stepped forward, her eyes blazing. Terrorism, Dilosian. You arrived with guns blazing, with demands for surrender. You called us primitives, ripe for conquest. What did you expect? A polite tea ceremony. Her voice was laced with a cold fury. The Guardians offered you exactly what you offered us. Annihilation. The only difference is, they succeeded. Valerius interjected, his light pulsing brighter. General Rostova, we understand your outrage. But the sheer destructive power. This is not a path to peace, Commander Lai. This is a path to a galactic war that will consume us all. Peace. Jian Lai repeated, a cynical smile touching his lips. You call it peace. We call it enforced ignorance. For centuries, you ignored us. Now, you fear us. This fear, Ambassador, is the new foundation for your peace. Our intention, as I conveyed, is simple: autonomy. We will not be governed, we will not be exploited, and we will not be threatened. He pointed to the holographic map. This 1,000-light-year exclusion zone is non-negotiable. Any intrusion will be met with force. Every resource within that zone is ours. Every star, every planet, every asteroid. The alien envoys exchanged shocked glances. Such a claim was unprecedented, a direct challenge to galactic sovereignty laws. And what of your guardians? Valerius pressed, his voice strained. Will they remain dormant? Or will they be unleashed upon any who question your new territorial claims? Jian Lai's gaze settled on Valerius, cold and unyielding. That, Ambassador, depends entirely on the galactic community. If you respect our sovereignty, if you cease your aggression, then the Guardians will slumber. But if you seek to test our resolve, if you believe we are bluffing, then prepare to witness what true human defiance looks like. Because unlike your galactic laws, the Guardians do not negotiate. They only defend. The diplomatic session on Peacekeeper 1 devolved into a tense stalemate. Ambassador Valerius and the Council envoys pressed for concessions, for assurances, for anything that would re-establish the familiar galactic order. Jian Lai, however, remained unyielding, a stone in the face of a rising tide. The Axylosian representative, Zukor, despite his earlier humiliation, found a renewed, desperate courage, urging the Council to take immediate military action, convinced that humanity's reliance on the Guardians was a fatal flaw. They are machines, Commander Lee. Zukor shrieked, his multifaceted eyes glowing with fervor. They cannot adapt. They cannot strategize. Send a larger, more coordinated force, and they will surely break. Jian Lai merely arched an eyebrow, a dismissive glint in his eyes. You speak of breaking machines, Thylosian. We speak of breaking empires. Your previous fleet was, by galactic standards, formidable. It was reduced to atomic dust in moments. Are you truly prepared to risk the entirety of the hegemony on a gamble that our machines lack tactical prowess? Valerius intervened, his luminous form pulsing rapidly. This is unproductive. Commander Lai, your demands are unprecedented. 1,000-light-year exclusion zone means disrupting millennia of established trade routes, colonization efforts, and strategic alliances. The Council cannot simply concede such a vast territory without recourse. Then find recourse within those parameters, Jian Lai countered, his voice a low, dangerous rumble. The galactic community has had millennia to establish its order. We have had mere days to re-establish ours. And our order prioritizes our survival above all else. If your trade routes and alliances clash with our security, they will be severed. Outside the station, a sudden, blinding flash of light erupted from deep space. Anya's voice crackled over the comms, urgency cutting through her usual composure. Commander, unidentified fleet detected. High-speed approach. Multiple jumps confirmed. They're not Council vessels. Jian Lai's eyes narrowed. On screen, Anya. Full tactical overlay. He turned to the stunned alien envoys. It seems your allies are more eager to test our resolve than you are, Ambassador. On the main view screen, a new, massive fleet emerged from hyperspace. Their ships were unlike that Silosian's blunt instruments or the Council's sleek vessels. These were angular, aggressive designs, bristling with exotic energy weapons. Their signatures were unlike anything in the known galactic database. Zukor gasped. The Creek? The Creek War Collective. They are even more brutal than the hegemony. His face paled, the humiliation of his own fleet's destruction momentarily forgotten in the face of this new, terrifying threat. Ambassador Valerius pulsed with alarm. The Creek are warmongers. They respect only strength. Their very presence here is an act of war against the Council. Jian Lai watched the approaching fleet, a grim satisfaction settling over him. Indeed, it seems the universe is determined to witness humanity's reawakening firsthand. Anya, prepare Guardian activation sequence. Full threat assessment on the Krieg fleet. Eva, ready all atmospheric defense grids. This time, we show them no restraint. The Krieg fleet broadcasted an immediate, unfiltered message, their language a series of harsh, guttural roars translated by the Aegis Universal Translator into a chilling declaration. Humanity, we have observed your recent display. We are the Krieg. We seek to conquer the strongest. Yield your guardians and your planet, or face true obliteration. Jian Lai allowed a cold, predatory smile to touch his lips. He pressed a button on the conference table, opening a comms channel directly to the Krieg flagship, bypassing the Council's diplomatic channels. The image of their lead warlord, a creature of bone and chitin, appeared before the stunned envoys. Warlord Kryn, Jian Lai began, his voice calm, cutting through the aliens' triumphant roar. You mistake our actions for an invitation to battle. They were a warning. You have chosen to ignore it. He paused, his eyes gleaming with a dangerous light. He looked at the shocked faces of the Council envoys, then back at the Krieg warlord. This isn't just Earth's fight anymore. This is a lesson for the entire galaxy. A lesson in the consequences of awakening forgotten power. From the depths of Earth, a deep, resonant hum began, echoing through the Peacekeeper 1 station, vibrating through the varied bones of the alien envoys. On the holographic display, the Guardians, which had just moments ago returned to slumber, began to glow with an ominous internal light. This time, their ascent would be even swifter, even more terrifying. The Krieg warlord, Kryn, scoffed, a rasping sound that translated as arrogance. A desperate gambit, human. Your guardians are but crude automatons. We will crush them, and then we will harvest your world. Before Jian Lai could respond, the holographic display flickered, then showed the first of the Guardians breaking free from Earth's crust. This time, it wasn't a slow, ponderous emergence. The ground ruptured with explosive force, sending immense geysers of rock and steam skyward. A titan resembling a colossal, armored gorilla, its metallic fists glowing with internal energy, burst from a mountain range, its roar shaking the very fabric of the atmosphere. Another, a sleek, winged monstrosity, tore free from an Antarctic ice shelf, its metallic wings already beginning to churn the air, propelling it towards orbit with terrifying speed. Anya's voice, though strained, was filled with a chilling awe. Commander, the Guardians are reacting with unprecedented speed. They're entering combat parameters faster than before. Their energy signatures are asterisk surging asterisk. On the Krieg flagship, Warlord Kryn's confident snarl turned into a snarl of confusion, then outright alarm. His command deck erupted in frantic cries as his sensors were overwhelmed. What is the speed? They are not slow. Engage. Open fire. The Krieg fleet, still in attack formation, launched a barrage of exotic weaponry. Plasma torpedoes, energy lances, and gravitic disruptors. The void between Earth and the invading fleet became a maelstrom of destructive energy. But the Guardians met it head-on. The winged behemoth, now fully in orbit, weaved through the incoming fire, its wings acting as both propulsion and shield. It retaliated with streams of concentrated dark energy, tearing gaping holes in the Krieg vanguard ships. The armored gorilla-like Guardian, meanwhile, braced itself in the upper atmosphere, absorbing volley after volley of Krieg fire, its metallic hide glowing red-hot but remaining impervious. Then it unleashed a devastating wave of concussive force, ripping apart a formation of Krieg destroyers like they were made of paper. Ambassador Valerius and the Council envoys watched in stunned silence, their alien features frozen in disbelief. The Guardians weren't just powerful. They were asterisk learning asterisk. Adapting. Their movements were more fluid, their targeting more precise. Jian Lai watched the unfolding battle, his face grim but resolute. "This is not a battle, Warlord Korean," he stated, his voice resonating through the comms. "This is a demonstration, a final, absolute lesson." The Creek, known for their relentless aggression, were suddenly facing something beyond their comprehension. Their brutal tactics, effective against other galactic powers, were useless against the ancient, unfeeling might of the Guardians. Ships exploded, not with fire, but with implosions, their very existence snuffed out. Others were torn limb from limb by the sheer, overwhelming physical force of the metallic titans. Warlord Cran's voice, now raw with terror, shrieked across the open comms. "Retreat. All forces. Full retreat. They are invincible. They are demons." Jian Lai let the Creek warlord's screams echo for a moment, a chilling testament to the scale of their miscalculation. He then looked at the council envoys, his gaze sweeping over their horrified faces. "Invincible? No, Ambassador. They are merely determined." He turned back to the view screen, watching the remnants of the Creek fleet attempt a desperate, scattered retreat, only to be systematically hunted down by the relentless Guardians. The battle ended not with a final, glorious explosion, but with a chilling silence as the last Creek ship vanished, either destroyed or having fled into the cold depths of hyperspace, never to return. The Guardians, their mission complete, slowly began their descent once more, their formidable forms fading back into the natural landscape, leaving behind a sky purged of all threats. Jian Li's gaze met Valerius. "The 1,000-light-year zone remains, Ambassador, and any who violate it will face the same fate. Humanity has reawakened, and we will never sleep again." The message was clear, chilling, and utterly undeniable. The galaxy had awoken a giant, and now it would live in its shadow.